Welcome to PupDates, the show where we take a look at gaming's biggest stories that have occurred this week. Let's get started. So, firstly, probably the biggest story this week, Phil Spencer of Xbox and Microsoft fame is retiring after nearly 40 years at the company. However, what takes an interesting turn is Sarah Bond, who was kind of being groomed to be his immediate successor, has also stepped down, as instead been replaced by Asha Sharma, who was part of Microsoft's AI initiatives. A lot of people have kind of had a lot of quite emotional feelings towards this, and Asha Sharma isn't someone who has a background in gaming, and to that I say neither did Reggie Fils-Aimé when before he became president of Nintendo, and he came from Pizza Hut, I believe, or he worked at a few companies. So that top level C-suite management executive style, it doesn't always require a knowledge of the industry. It's an advantage, and I think that it should always familiarize themselves with their product and their consumer base. However, I can see, given Xbox's recent missteps over the past several years, why they decided to go in a different direction. How that direction's going to go, we've no idea. We're just going to have to wait and see. They're probably going to force Copilot into everything Xbox like they've done with everything Microsoft. But we'll just have to wait and see. On paper, it makes sense. I believe people like Sarah Bond, I think she was one of the masterminds behind the Everything's an Xbox ad campaign that they tried to do. So we saw kind of some of her work, and that as a campaign, the messaging, it's not bad, but the execution was pretty poor, and you basically ended up diminishing your own brand. So you can kind of understand why Xbox decided to go in a different direction. However, this could be the final frontier for Xbox. Like, it could all implode. Will the Xbox division still be a thing in the next 5 years, 10 years? Who's to say? Only time will tell. Okay, next up, Discord have delayed their age verification steps. If you weren't aware what this is, a few weeks ago, Discord had announced that they were planning on bringing in ID checks for those users, and until you had proved and verified your age, you were stuck on the limited under 16 version of Discord. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I am not the biggest fan of Discord. I'd actually go to say as far to say as I actively dislike Discord. I hate the UI, I hate the layout, I hate that it's replaced a lot of traditional forums. I hate that it's just a big group chat and there's so many threads going on and it's hard to keep track of the topic at hand when you're being spammed with anime memes and in jokes about things that you're not privy to, and it's all just a nightmare. But I could rant about Discord for hours. Unfortunately, because of the nature of the videos I make and the topics I cover, it's become a necessity. However, hopefully, when people finally realise that Discord is not always cracked up to be, and we find something else, or we go back to those early internet days and we look at forums and we stick to the topic at hand rather than some other nonsense. So one of the main concerns for these age verification checks is Discord themselves last October had leaked 70,000 user ID photos in a cyber attack. One of the companies they partnered with, Persona, had also had their own data breach. These types of companies are very prone to data breaches, especially when you're advertising the fact that you hold users' IDs, driving licenses, pictures of their face. You're basically advertising the fact that that is something you'll now be storing. So if you weren't already a prime target for cyber hackers, you're going to be. So it's become a bit kind of nanny state. And as someone in the UK where these age verification checks were brought in to kind of save the children, and promote VPN usage, which is something else they're trying to delay, then it's all reeks of people who don't know what they're doing or don't understand technology trying to police it, and it's gonna end in disaster. So I've always been very critical of Discord, so the moment something else comes along that's better, I'll be all over it. If you're a frequent Discord user, I'd be very wary. Even though they've walked the policy back or they've delayed it, they've basically delayed it because of the negative press. It always happens, and there'll be a horrible story, something will get or will delay it, or will wind it down, and then they either quietly kill it or they try and sneak it through the net. So be wary, be cautious, and get off Discord. It's terrible. Okay, in AYN Thor news, we have a little bit of a mixed bag this week. Chinese New Year has ended, so those of you awaiting your Batch 2 and Batch 3 pre-orders can now relax a tiny little bit, knowing that they're back in full production to get those orders shipped out ASAP. And I believe they've just announced that the Batch 4 pre-orders will go live on Monday, which will be the 2nd of March, I believe. So if you're eagerly anticipating that, they have also announced that come April there will be some price increases. So if you're on the fence about buying one, then the potential of a price increase might be something that kind of pushes you towards buying it. Personally, I love the device. If this is the first video of mine you're seeing, check out my channel. I've got about 60 videos, I think, at this point, all about the AYN Thor, the things it can do, the front ends, the apps, the emulators. It's a great device. It is. If it wasn't for Resident Evil coming out today, I wouldn't have touched my PlayStation since December when I got the Thor. So that's how important that device has become to me and to a lot of viewers. Especially now, it's helped my channel grow. So if AYN want to reach out and send us some goodies or review units, then feel free. My loyalty can be bought very easily. But also on the flip side, and slightly negatively, there have been reports of scammers popping up on Reddit and Discord, basically sending some absolutely awful things and threatening death threats and swatting. And please, 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 if you see someone advertising we're selling a Thor because I ordered, I didn't want it, I had to cancel it, please be cautious. The safest way to get one of these devices is direct from AYN's website or through their official AliExpress store. Be very wary of scammers. Don't send any money to anyone you're not sure of. If you have a credit card and you really, really can't wait, make sure you do pay through that credit card or that your bank has buyer protection. So if you are a victim of a scam, you can still reverse that charge. I've seen reports of people losing £300-400, $300-400 on the device because they got scammed. And not people are not immune to scams. I'm quite tech savvy. I grew up in the kind of golden age of technology in like the 90s to 2000s. And there's even been a few times where I've seen something and gone, wait, before I've caught myself and thought, hang on, that sounds too good to be true. And if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So just to reiterate, make sure if you're interested in buying the Thor, one, I'd do it now before the prices go up, and two, official websites, official channels only. Be sure to check in the AYN Discord for more details. I believe the current shipping estimates round about 2 months, I think they've said. That might get a little bit quicker once production fires back up again, but keep checking the shipping dashboard and keep in the Discord before Discord gets shut down for age verification. See, you got to take the good with the bad. I can slag off Discord in one segment and then point you to it in another. It's not hypocrisy, it's marketing. And finally, I'll have to be a little bit coy about this next topic because of the nature of it. Myrient has announced that they are shutting down. For those of you who aren't aware what Myrient is, you can either Google it, or if you're in the emulation scene, it is perhaps the greatest resource for fans of emulation. I won't say more about what it actually does. The reason it's shutting down by the founder, the maintainer of the site, is because of the massive server costs. I believe he's in a loss of about $6,000 a month. They rely solely on donations, and even with a donation drive, they couldn't maintain that momentum to restore and to keep it running at level costs. And also, there's been a big spike recently in a lot of people creating third-party solutions to download it and to bypass a lot of the download limits and things like that. So that has had a massive hit on their data usage and data storage, because this is a site that hosts terabytes of data and it ain't cheap. So I believe there's been efforts already to start kind of migrating the data or to archiving it. I think the official shutdown will be a month yesterday, so it'll be towards the end of March. So if you haven't already seen it, do check out that website. I won't tell you much more. You'll get it. It's a great loss, and I'll be sad to see it go. However, like a lot of things, if you whack a mole, another one will pop up. If you cut the head off a hydra, more will spout. So one down, many more hopefully will arrive. And finally, that was just a few little stories from the week of gaming. I'm aware it's been a little bit of a downer week this week, and I think the industry as a whole, it can be very negative. So what I thought I'd do is, at the end of each episode, I'm gonna recommend some games that I've been playing, and then in the comments below, if you tell me what games you've been playing or games you recommend I play, particularly great if they are playable on emulators or on the Thor. So like I've mentioned earlier, I thought what I'll do, I'll record some videos now, I'll schedule them over the weekend, so then I can focus on playing Resident Evil 9. But I've also on the Thor, I've been playing through Pokemon Fire Red. I've done some Pokemon coverage recently on the channel, you might have seen. There's some lovely little third-party apps to go alongside that. There's also some fan mods. There's Poke MMO, which is like an online Pokemon game. There's also Poke Rogue, which is a roguelike inspired Pokemon. It's like battle after battle after battle. That's quite addictive. That's quite cool. I've got videos for them on my channel. Be sure to check them out. I've nearly got all the retro achievements of WarioWare. I just need to do all the little grid mode mini games. And then I've also, what was I looking at the other day? Red Dead Revolver, the pre Red Dead Redemption game, which was by Rockstar from 2003, 2004, I think. Very different kind of game. Not what Red Dead Redemption was, but pretty fun all the same. Kind of a lot more arcadey. So that's what I've been playing this week. What have you guys been playing this week? Please let me know in the comments. As always, if you like this video, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe. Tell your friends. I will see you next time. And breaking news, Nintendo have just announced Pokemon Wind and Waves due to launch 2027. So I'm working my way through a massive 20 plus year Pokemon backlog. So hopefully by the time I've caught up, I'll be able to experience Wind and Waves alongside all you guys. I know that the more recent entries have been prone to some criticism because of Game Freak being accused of being quite lazy as developers and they're usually quite buggy. Will they learn this time if it's got a native Switch 2 port? Only time will tell. So, yeah, my first breaking news flash. So, see you next week.